Hello everybody, however do you do? Thank you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it. And I've told the viewers of these videos over and over how I cover my books in Brodart Just-A-Fold III archival dust jacket protectors. I cover the dust jackets in this stuff, this clear plastic stuff. It helps to protect your books from the sun. It helps to protect the dust jackets from damage as you put them on and take them off the shelf, or insert or take them out of slipcases and things like that. So I've done it. I've been doing it for years. And last year I ended up just buying a great big roll, a 300-foot roll of the 10-inch Brodart Just-A-Fold III stuff. And I finally used it all up. That means I bought way too many books. I used it all up and I had to order a new roll, and I cut the top, and then I thought, hey, maybe people might want to see what to expect. So it came in this great big roll here. And first of all, I don't even remember what I paid for it because I am unprepared to make a video. Forgive me, it ain't the first time. But here's what I paid if the invoice is correct and it does not tell me a thing. So I'll have to look it up. And through the magic of the internet and technology, I use the exact same phone that I'm using to record this video to figure out how much I paid for this thing here. $66.84 US. And it is 300 feet of this 10-inch stuff here. Let's take it out and show you what it looks like. I've done a video a long time ago that showed how I wrap books. And since I've got a stack of books to wrap, I might as well make another one showing you how I wrap these books using this great big roll of Brodart book jacket covers. ShopBrodart.com. I think it took them about a week to get me this box. In fact, when I saw it at the place where I get my stuff shipped, so it can be safe until I pick it up, an undisclosed location, I saw this sitting there and I was amazed. How's that here already? But they got it to me quickly. Like I said, about a week. It arose. And, well, look inside. It's a big roll, 300 feet. And so you got plastic ends, and it sits on a roll that I can unroll the roll. So it is a little bit easier than the typical way that you get if you buy smaller pieces of it. Some of them are cut to length. The issue I have with that is I never know. Depending on how thick your book is, you might need a different length. So it's gonna be long or short, which is no big deal really. But if I can cut them to the length I want, it's more economically feasible. And this is one of the cheapest ways to cover your dust jackets is to buy a big roll. Now that's assuming you buy lots of books, or that you, over the rest of your life, you're gonna buy enough books to use up a 300-foot roll. And so in theory, if you buy your very last book when you use the very last piece of the roll, you timed it perfectly. And if you use up the last piece and you've got more books to buy, you can just buy more. And if you, never mind, we'll leave the rest to you. But this is how it comes. And so I'll just set this on the table, open the top, and pull it out to the right length and cut it off and cover up my dust jackets. And I'm going to show you that. I've got some dust jackets to cover. I'll do one for you, videotape it, and see if I can explain my methodology. I do it the simple way. I don't do it the perfectionist way. I just do it the easy way. I'm going to cover my junk up, put it away. There are more refined methods. I just don't use them. Pull it off, cut it to length, install them, use my grubby little mitts to fold things down, and I'll show you how I do it again.
It's a cup of coffee in the big time.
All right, here I am working at a very messy craft table. That's what crafts are for, but I use it for lots of things, reading and stuff like this. And my roll came initially with a little piece of tape here on it. So I'm going to carefully try to remove this tape without doing too much tearing on the back of one of these, although the backs don't matter so much as they are hidden on the book, but I don't want to mess stuff up. And so what I'll do initially is I'll start to unroll. Now this is my first book from this roll, and I have no idea what I'm getting into in terms of if there's damage or flaws or anything like that, but I'm just going to unroll it some so I can see, have me a piece laid out here right in front. And the book I'm going to wrap the dust jacket for today is one I just picked up, Suntup Artist Edition of Hell House by Richard Matheson. It comes in a slipcase. So you put this book in and out of this slipcase over and over, and the edges of my dust jacket will turn white. It'll get rubbed. Rub the coating off and they'll have white on them. And some folks may feel like that's just the nature of books. But if you can protect them, why not do so? And that's why I started protecting them, and that's why I just kept on doing it for the last 20-something years. Why I keep doing it. Anyway, so I don't really need the book at this moment. I'm going to set it to the side. What I need right now is the dust jacket. I'm going to unfold it and I'm going to lay it out so I can figure out how much of this roll do I need to cut off to fit my dust jacket. It does, and I don't do it in a precise way. You may be a precise person. I think good enough for this is good enough for me. So I'll kind of lay it out and I'll get an idea of where I need to cut it. Now, I used to use regular old scissors, but I was on Amazon one day and I found these Alex 10-inch stainless steel Japanese shears that I use just because they cut a bigger hunk and it helps me to get it a little bit neater. But I'll kind of figure out where I need to be to start my cut, and I don't want to cut this. Move it out of the way just slightly, and then I'll try to cut as straight as I can. The bigger the swipe, the better. You just get you a straight edge cutter or something like that, it'll probably do better. But again, I don't want a bunch of junk here. So a pair of scissors and a box of stuff. When I'm done, I'll put these scissors in here and I'll put it out of the way so it doesn't affect me long term, except for when I want to protect the dust jacket. So I got it cut to the size I want. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put this plastic side and paper side. I'll put the plastic side down, paper side up, and the open side towards my belly. And then I'm going to lay this down, picture side, plastic side. Otherwise, you're just going to have a white dust jacket on your book. So I'm going to put it in, slide it in there between the paper and the plastic. And then what I'll do is I'll just kind of flatten it out a little bit. It helps to make sure, one of the things I want to make sure of is that my dust jacket gets all the way up in here, because I don't want to have a white edge on top of my dust jacket if I didn't get it all the way up in that fold. And sometimes that's the most difficult part, getting it all the way up in there so that when I fold it up and put it on the book, it looks right. I just have a shiny dust jacket instead of a dust jacket with a white ring around the top. Some books, the dust jackets are sticky and it's hard to get them to slide up in there. So see, I've got my hands on top of the dust jacket down here under the paper part, and my fingers, I'm using this part of my hand just to kind of hold the plastic. So I can use my fingers, and if I push that up, you'll see what I'm doing. I'm using my fingers like this to push this part up into that edge. Pull that back down or else it ain't gonna work. Pull that back down. And I'm gonna try to shove them up in there as tight as I can get it. So that's all the way in the seam, that seam right there. I want it all the way in. Get it all the way in. And sometimes you don't get it right, so we can do it again. And I'm gonna pull this down just to hold it flat. And then hold it there. If I take my hands off now, stuff's going to move perhaps. Hold it there and start a fold, and it's a Just-A-Fold III. So I'm going to fold this paper part up, equal to or higher than the dust jacket itself. If you go a little bit higher than, it really doesn't matter. If you get it precise, well, that's more precise. But I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to fold that down with my little fingers. People use other things, bones and rulers and all sorts of stuff. And they're right, and I'm wrong, but this is how I do it. And then I'm going to fold the plastic up and over, and I'm going to fold the plastic tight, being careful not to also fold the bottom edge of my dust jacket. So I'm just going to gently push it up to it, and then I'm pushing down, putting a little bit of pressure on, and this is where your ruler would come in handy. If you were a person that had rulers laying around, it might come in handy too. But I've been doing it like this for 20 years. I'm not saying that's right, but it's been good enough for me. Now, I've got the stuff folded, but if I let go, things are going to go awry. So with one hand, I'm going to grab my book. My book is how I'm going to finish this up. Actually, I'm going to finish it up by sticking the book and the dust jacket back in that slipcase. But I'm going to put the book right where the crease is on the dust jacket. See this portion folds inside the bottom cover of the book. I'm going to put it there to line it up. Now I'm going to use the book to hold it down, grab this end right here, and I'm going to open the book and put my dust jacket on like I normally would. Folding this up like you normally would any old dust jacket. Now I'm folding this up like I normally would any old dust jacket. And there it is. There's things you can do to make it tighter, but ultimately time tightens it. But here's what I'll do. I want to make it tighter right now. You find the part that you folded, I'll take it and hold it, and I'll just pinch it right there and crease that plastic. It's already folded around. Now I'm just putting a little bit of a crease in it, makes it a little bit tighter. And for the front cover, I'll do the same thing. Kind of pinch it right here between my two fingers, and I'll slide it out. And that joker is tight, and it will be on there, hopefully, for the rest of my life. And there it is. Voila. So you can see no white ring up there, making sure, yeah, it looks good. I did it right. I did it tight. And it's going to go in my slipcase. And then on the shelf, be careful putting books in slipcases, even when you got the Brodart on. One side effect happens sometimes is with the Brodart, it makes the book and dust jacket combo bigger than it ordinarily is, especially on old books. Sometimes now it'll be too tight to get in the slipcase. And this one has a little bit of firmness. Usually Suntup makes them slightly oversized to fit, but this one is not bad. I can still get it out. It's just tight. So what I'll do to get one out, you gotta be careful, simply over something soft, like your bed or a soft chair, or even over your thighs. I'll just take two hands, give it a little bit of a shook, so that when it comes out, if it's surprisingly comes out, it's going to hit something soft. And there it is. Now, this particular situation here, these slip cases are shipped to the manufacturer and then it's shrink wrapped. And what happens sometimes is it's pressed in just slightly from the shrink wrap. And putting a book in, every single case I've got over here with the Suntups is the book and the dust jacket and the slip case kind of separate it some naturally. It comes in and out quicker and easier. And also what happens is your plastic gets trained, gets pressed down over time so that it now becomes smaller, takes up less space, and it will slide out easier by hand. But this one fits good because top to bottom there is room and just right. I am happy. Did a good job. Hopefully that helps you. If not, well, I'm sure there's people that do it better, that teach better, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it. C'est la vie, baby. Doo-doo.